Hey, it's been a while since I've been with you, but I haven't stopped doing projects. 2019, I did a ton of projects, and they're all on Crimson Woodworking on Instagram. If you'll search for that, you can find a lot. But now that something big happened in my life, and that was 3 weeks ago, I retired from 36 years of work, and so I'm gonna get back to my videos for YouTube. And the first one we're starting with is something that is common with every wife. She doesn't want wire shelving. And the builder put wire shelving in our pantry, and we're gonna get rid of it. Here's the current condition of our pantry with our dreaded wire shelving. It's a fairly large pantry, but really hate the way it looks, and it's going to look a lot better really soon. Okay, when you're taking these out, don't just try to pull those off, because it will leave a big hole. This is a nail that causes that to expand, and pry it out just a little bit and take the nail out first. Usually this part then, with no nail in it, won't leave quite as big a hole. And I'll show you how to fix this. When you're doing drywall holes, you see when you pull something out, the nails or the plastic anchors, they leave frayed edges. And you can use this putty knife, and it's rounded for a reason on there. You can take the end of it and just go around. And that's about enough, and that creates an indention that's lower than the surface, and then it gives you something for your putty to go in and make a nice smooth hole instead of the frayed pieces of the sheetrock. One of the things you run into are the plastic wall anchors, and there's an easy way to get those out. Just stick your knife tip up in. Try to cut the head off, and this is a small punch, but you can use a screwdriver and just push it through, and it falls in behind your wall, but it's no problem back there. A lot of times when you're putting something and you're looking for your stud walls, and this is by no means I invented this, but if you'll just get your first one right and then take your second board and lay it on, you can go ahead and pre-drill right above where you hit your stud on your first one all the way through, and then when you raise it up, there's no more looking for studs anymore. Got my ledger boards up, all but the end ones. I'm about to do that, and then we're going to paint these ledgers to match the sheetrock, and that's going to make the boards that are going to be white stand out more, I think. To attach the ledger boards on the end, I used pocket holes to attach it to the ledger board from the front face. And I use these drywall anchors that say they'll hold up to 75 pounds, and I think they will, really will. It's pretty sturdy. For mounting to the sheetrock, I think this will be plenty strong. When dealing with corners, the sheetrock people have put down tape and mud, so the corners will never be exactly straight. Even though sheetrock is straight, you'll have a layer of mud, then a layer of tape, and then more mud, and you'll get a result like this. Put your square at the back and push it over and make sure it's straight here, and see the gap that's created. So if I cut a straight board, I'm going to have a gap here. It's not going to look good. So let's find out how we solve this. Have a D-tape, and you put your D-tape in the corner shoot it across, and it's 5'11" and 5/8. Let me move it out. And it's 5'11" and 7/8. So now you know how much of a gap you have to do. I've already worked this out with a template that's exactly the length, 11 1/4 inches. And it's -2 degrees on the left side and -1 degree to put on the opposite wall on the right side. When connecting these shelves in the corner, I decided not to use pocket holes from underneath, because as you get up higher, you would be able to see the pocket holes. But since I'm going to cover this with a faceplate, I just went in at an angle with a pre-drill, and these are cabinet screws with a very tiny head. And I can do this one-handed here. And it buried pretty good. That's going to hold. I got a little bit of glue in the joint, and I got it clamped with a Craig clamp, so it'll be straight. This ought to work out fine. When I'm at this part, I could just leave well enough alone, paint these edges, and leave it just like it is, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put some 1 1/4" frames on here, and some 2-inch posts across the end to kind of. Also, I'm going to put a post in the center here for just a little bit of more support. I think it'll make it look a lot better. To make it look a little better, we're putting these face plates on, and they're 1 1/8", and this is 3/4, so it'll give it a good full look. And we put a little glue at the top. Just a little bit on the ends. And use my little finesse tool here. And we're going to shoot some 23 gauge pin nails. Wipe off the extra glue, get it from underneath, and that's really going to look good when it gets painted up. The good thing about these 23 gauge pin nails is they're hardly visible. I mean, you could probably zoom in on that and find them, but they're good for holding things while the glue dries. And on this Ryobi, it has a little plate that you can slide up. That way you know that you're in the proper position each time to put the nail in. Okay, I made this little thing for cookie sheets and cutting boards to go in to store, and I think it's going to work out pretty good. It's made out of oak plywood with some 1/4 inch oak plywood shelving that I cut a little half moon out for a place to get your fingers back in, and I put walnut trim around it, which I know it's a little extravagant, but it looks pretty nice like that. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that build. It's really good to be back. It's been several months since I did a YouTube video. I haven't stopped my woodworking. It's just been tough to do the videos, but you heard me say on the video that I had retired, and I'm so glad to do that. It gives you a chance to really do things that you always wanted to do that just didn't have time. And for the first 3 weeks, it's mostly honeydew jobs. But a few projects are coming up, I'm sure. You can see some things that I did before for the last several months. I've been really kept busy, and you can see all those on Instagram. If you follow me at Crimson Woodworking, you'll get to see all those. But on the pantry build, the hardest part of the pantry build, just to be honest, was repairing all those holes, that pulling out the screws and the plastic anchors. Oh my. There was probably at least 70 holes to be repaired and then primed and painted. But it all worked out, and I really think the end result looks good. My wife loves it, although we're doing this, getting our home ready to sell. So this will be a pantry for someone else. I had someone to ask on Instagram about the strength of it, because my shots on Instagram didn't show the 2 vertical supports I had, and with the face frame turned the opposite way, it's like putting rafters up in a roof. It's going to hold a lot of weight, and I tried pulling them, and you can't make them even budge. The vertical supports even added to that, so they're plenty strong. I plan to do, you see this Craig, this is something I got myself for Christmas, and I plan to do a tool review on this. This is a Craig track saw, and I've been using it for breaking down plywood. And little spoiler alert, I like it a lot. And if you want to see that and see other things, drop me a line, tell me what you want to see. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. And for the several months that I wasn't even putting out anything, I probably got 100 extra subscribers, and I really appreciate that. And now I'm going to start putting things out to earn those subscribers. Thank you so much.